someone whose celluloid love stories have enchanted our lives. We have with us veteran filmmaker Raul. Welcome to our session, Rahul. With a man who stepped into Indian cinema as an assistant to Raj Kapoor. Rawail Foundation, in association with the Ehsaas Women of Kolkata, has organized this special rendezvous with Rawail at the Salt House in Kolkata under his cultural initiative, Mulakat. Rahul ji will engage in a conversation with Shefali Agarwal, Ehsaas Women of Kolkata. Before I take the pleasure of introducing our eminent guest and the conversationalist, allow me to say a few words about Rawail Foundation. The foundation, established by late Dr. Rawail, is an organization that encourages literature, art, and culture through its multifaceted initiatives across the global map. Charting a glorious journey of 4 decades and actively present in more than 40 cities in India and overseas, the foundation aims to showcase the multicultural diversities and the rich literary and cultural heritage of the nation through landmark boutique events. The mission of the foundation is to work towards a better tomorrow and create a cultural capital through the able assistance of our distinguished patron Sri Cements Limited, our partners, collaborators, and Ehsaas Women of Kolkata, of India. Out of the amazing bouquet of cultural initiatives, Mulakat stands out as a special session that calls for a meeting of minds. The foundation's cultural offerings are based on an honest, heart-to-heart and free-flowing conversations, which is the ethos of the foundation. One such initiative is Mulakat, which is an engaging forum for distinguished and celebrated individuals to share stories and sentiments, memories and moments, and news and views. Eminent personalities have a rendezvous on social, cultural, philosophical, economic, and current issues of modern times. The audience gets to enjoy an insight into the life of an artist, achiever, cultural aficionado, or thinker. Rawail, famously known for his blockbuster movies, Love Story, Betab, Arjun, Dakat, Anjam, and Arjun Pandit, is the son of renowned film director H.S. Rawail. His movies have been the launch vehicle for many actors such as Kumar Gaurav and Vijayta Pandit in Love Story, Sunny Deol and Amrita Singh in Betab, Kajol in Bekhudi, and Aishwarya Rai in Aur Pyar Ho Gaya. It was an extremely special opportunity for Rawail to have worked with Raj Kapoor as an assistant director under the banner of RK Films. Under the tutelage of the immortal master of Indian cinema, he learned the nitty-gritty of filmmaking and went on to cement his foothold as a movie maker of excellence. His association with Rajsa and the fond anecdotes and memories are captured in his book, Raj Kapoor, The Master at Work. Conversationalist Shefali Agarwal is an Ehsaas woman of Kolkata. Besides being a successful professional, she cherishes a great love for the literary and cultural heritage of India. Without any delay, let's start the session. Over to you, Shefali. And please keep your mobile phones on silent during the session. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I'm Rahul. I'm not as nice as Asia made me out to be, so I think I should clarify that first. And I'm really happy to be here because this is the third event I'm doing with the Rawail Foundation. And from all the events I've done, and I've done a lot in this event, I don't think there's a better platform than here. So when I was told by Dr. that we're doing in Calcutta, she said, will you come? I said, don't ask me will I come. Just tell me when I should come and where I should come. So it's really wonderful to have you people here. And I think what makes these sessions more, I was talking to and what makes it more comfortable for me and is the people around, all the women whom I met everywhere. And that's really wonderful and very happy to be here.
So shall we get going?
Yes.
So Rahul, we all know that you come from a family closely associated with Indian cinema. Your father, respected H.S. Rawail ji, was a successful director. It seems obvious that you would follow in his footsteps. So, was it planned, or was it like a planned affair, or did you have any other ambition? What was the call for you to venture into Indian cinema?
Dad and mom always, of course, had this that you may be a son will one day be a filmmaker, but I wanted to be a nuclear physicist. When I was in school, my mind was settled on being a nuclear physicist. And when I finished my exams, I was the last batch which did senior catering before shifted to IC. So that finished in December. And I had admission for a college in Canada. So that would have been in September. And my childhood friend, Rishi Kapoor, he called me up and said, Dad is starting shooting the circus portions with the Russians. And there's lots of nice young Russian girls wearing minuscule clothes. So let's go and look at them. So, that was a great thing to really. That's what we went for. We had, there were no mobile cameras at that time. We had the camera. But we went to see those girls and I had attended something before. When I entered that place and I saw Ratha working, it was a completely different thing. It was like a symphony conductor who was, alone and handling. There were 5,000 people on the set. There were 3,000 extras in the crowd. There was 250 Russian and Indian circus artists. There was a unit. And my whole day, went up and only seeing how he was working. Of course, I never saw the girls. And I think I'm too old to see them now. But I hope I can go to Russia and see them once. But then that one day and then the next day I went again without asking him. And that was the end of my nuclear physics. And, that finished everything. Today, I'm happy to be here. I'm very happy. And I'm very lucky to get trained and the right kind of person.
So was acting always ever a question of inclination?
Acting? No, please. I'm mortified of acting. There was only one film I made was Jovelis and we were shooting in America. And we did one character, just one character, for 2 scenes. And we were shooting for a month and a half and we never found that one character. Whichever one we'd find, he'd say no, finally. So finally they asked me, they said, you do it yourself. Sure, you won't believe this, I have never been so nervous in my life. I was fine till I sat down there and there was a girl there, a nice hot girl in a bikini who was to come and sit on my lap. So I was very excited to go to bed again. And she sat. And that was not the reason. But when I realized that they were going to switch on the camera, and they put on the camera, I said, cut. He said, why? I said, here it's the haddiyan mere ko chub rahi hain. Better this was cut off and I said. So I was mortified of that, and I swore I'll never do it again.
So, of course, Raj Kapoor Saab is a phenomenon, the ultimate showman of Indian cinema. It's a pleasure to have you amongst us. You are someone who has worked with him closely. He is a master movie maker. So, tell us more about your experiences. Could you share maybe like a fond moment? I'm sure there'll be many, but whatever fond moment with you that you shared with Mr. Raj.
See, there are a lot of moments of this kind, and as a filmmaker, he is I think, was and is even today, the only filmmaker who knew so much about the 360 degrees of filmmaking without having learned it. It is God's gift. Today also, I don't think there's anybody in this country who has that kind of knowledge. And for me, the advantage was that he was a very good teacher. He had told me in the very beginning, he said, look, I'm not here to teach you. I'm not here to teach you. you got to pick up things yourself. But if you have any problem, anything you can't understand, ask me. Because remember one thing in life, if you never ask somebody how to solve the problem, that problem will never be solved for you. It stays a problem all your life. So that was really something which helped me. And he was always there with these, all those things. And I shared a terrific relationship with him. Very close relationship, worked very closely with him. Because he was screaming at me all the time. But I love those years. In fact, after I branched off into directing with myself, even after I made Beta, when I had time, I would go back on the sets to work as an assistant. I would not get up. So I did that till grade 2.
So even though you learned your directing skills from your father, what drew you towards, going to run through sets and
See, with Dad, I never worked with him to understand what the object was, but that I wasn't interested. And what drew me to Raj Kapoor is what I told you when I saw him working. That drew me there. And in any case, my father believed that to learn, you should not be working with the son, because then on the set, you are the boss's son. That makes a difference. Of course, it's got its own drawbacks. Like when I started working, I had a salary of 72 rupees a month. And I had pocket money of 100 rupees a month, which mom stopped. She said, no, you get 72 because you're earning it. So you do everything that's 72. So that was a major loss. But I tell you, those days, 72 was much better than what we really.
Sure, and especially it's your own earned.
Really, and your own earned, of course, has its own value.
That's really. So, talking about more, on cinema, your first two films did not make a mark. Your third film scripted a different story for you. Love Story became a blockbuster movie in 1981, and debutants Kumar Gaurav and Vijay Pandit were the talk of the tinsel town. And I do remember we were like really tiny kids and seeing it later. So
Thank you for reminding me of that's another thing.
Sorry, that
Everybody reminds me all the time.
So, what was the success mantra of Love Story? If you could share with us, after
my first film was Gunagar, which I made. We didn't do well at all. Then there was BB, which was produced by RK, which I did, and that, in fact, now it's very much talked about film. In fact, I meet people who have seen it over and over again. And one of them is Shahrukh. And Shahrukh says, I see the film at least 5 times in a week. So whenever I'm on set, I put a DVD or DVD on the screen. It is a very funny thing. It didn't do well in that time, but now it was well. See, there was no mantra for Love Story. The only thing I learned from Raksha was when he met Bobby. Bobby came after the debacle of Nirmal Stupid. But the debacle was very bad. He had actually bought and sold everything he had. He had nothing. White jewelry, everything was just thrown off. So it was really tough days. They called a review and said, I make a film, a teenage love story with Chittu and a new girl. So his CFO of the financial guy said, no, why should you make it with Chittu and times are bad. Why don't you make it with Dharminder and Mohammed? So he said, I can't make a teenage love story with Dharminder and Mohammed. I've got to make it with younger people.
Yeah.
And that really happened. Bobby was one film where I worked very closely. And I saw him through that whole film, the way he handled his actors, the way he handled his scenes. So when you mean Love Story, I decided that I should follow exactly what I heard from him. So that's what all went in. There's a lot of moments which are there in the book, which were taken from things which I've seen him do, and I duplicated them in the film. And though Love Story is the only film which doesn't carry a red tone, it's the only film in the world which does not carry a red tone. It does not. There's no name for director. I had a problem with Rawail when the film was complete. The film was released, and my Sardar side of my family came in, and I went to court and got an order from court that I will not put my name in this film. And but he cannot use anybody else's name. So I got that order from court. So finally.
But was that ever? Did it ever make you later just feel that way?
No,
why did that?
Why later? After it released. So before I did it, I spoke to Raza. He is such an input man. I said, and he said that's a very sensible thing. Because if you are not happy in something, do it. And remember one thing, talent will never keep you away. Somebody or the other will come back. So I did this, and then the film released and turned out to be a blockbuster. And then it did start seeping in at one time. Maybe because I know work. I had no work at all, and I did not even know what the future would be like. I did a small course in poultry farming at that time.
Oh.
Yeah, because I thought I had to do something, and the industry is like this. The industry will say, "Oh, he's done nothing." It must have been Narendra Kumar who's done the whole thing.
Yes, especially when there's no name.
Yeah, and so. Then one day, Dharamji's brother came to my house and said, would you like to do a film with Sunny? And I said, why is he asking would I like to? There's a question of like to, of course I would. And that's what came out. Dharamji said, I saw the three last night, and I know that it was very well. He could not have been this film. So, I'm sure you made it, so then that's how it worked.
That's amazing. And that's where the blockbuster changed the story. So is, as you have one after the other all romantic stories in all your movies, so is that your favorite genre?
No, look, I never stuck with one genre. I just stuck with the kind of story I'm making. Like Arjun was completely different.
Yeah, did that.
And Arjun was a trendsetter. It changed a lot in the films, the way it was made. And then Dakat was also, Dakat was, it broke the mold of the dacoits we had seen in films, who wore pagdis and tikas, not that. Yeah, so it was exactly what dacoits were like. And then after that, I did Anjam. I did Begudi, which was again a love story. And that introduced Kajal in Begudi. That was and then I did Anjam, which was a love story, but it had this cruel edge in it.
The extreme.
The extreme.
I was just joking with him that how we used to discuss as Anjam being especially for Shah Rukh Khan after Dar and Bazigar, it was a love story on steroids. So it's an extreme version of the story, but yes, of course, the movie was amazing. So when many people shy away from working with debutants, but you always, and most of your movies have been the debutant movie for all the actors over there new to the industry. But of course, they mostly coming from the film background.
No, just in two films, of course, there obviously involved in the making of the film. There was Beta and there was Love Story. But Begudi, Tanuja had nothing to do with it. And it was not that I took Tanuja's daughter. My writer was Gautam Raj, that's a very prominent photographer. He was doing photo session of a girl who was filming her brother's daughter. So I got to see that girl. And there I saw the same sitting over there. And by the time the evening finished, I decided I would take her.
Oh wow, you went to see the other one?
Yeah, and I decided to take her. So that's how.
So that's
Yeah, see, I like to work more with instinct. All my actors I work with instinct. Like Paresh Rawal, he came to me for a role. He came to Rajkot Studios. I was shooting Arjun. He came in at 10:30 in the morning to meet me, and at 1 o'clock in the afternoon I was shooting with him. So it was that quick. So at times it's quick, at times it takes long time.
So, but how has it been to work with these debutants? Because, see, that too, for you also, I mean, has it been interesting, tough, or an easy journey?
I would still, if I make a film now, I would still love to take newcomers. See, I'd like to take either newcomers or people on the other side of the scale who are very good actors. I'm not on the side. Because I have this experience of working with new people in my films. And then I had the experience of working with Startup and Madhuri, who are two tremendous actors. And then I worked with Chintu and Kajal also. So I would work that way. Either I would work with new people or with these. The actors are not very fond of me. They have a lot of respect for me, but they're not very fond of me.
And why so?
I'll tell you why I'm short-tempered. Okay. I have once thrown an actress into the sea. Yes, into the sea. And
did the scene require so?
no, didn't require so. She was talking stupid. I don't like stupid people. Rafa always told me he says, दुनिया में देखो पागल रहने हैं, पागल के लिए होता है, लेकिन बेवकूफ ने कोई इलाज नहीं. So the actors are people worried that this man says anything he wants to, and whatever I have to say, I say to the face. I cannot talk against that. So they have this respect and this fear and stuff like that. I had very funny incidents. I had an incident where I needed a junior artist, one of the extras, to come and speak a line. So I told the boys, get me one junior artist who come and speak a line. So this guy came and I was shooting the evening. He met me. And he told my assistant, he said, Rahul saab direct kar rahe. So he said, so he took out his mustache. He said, main nahi. So it's not that I just lose my mind or it's I can't stand stupidity. If you're not paying attention to your work, that I think is the worst thing.
But sometimes probably maybe at that point in time that created a thing that people can't mess around.
Yeah, I did create a thing that they can't mess around. And that's the way it should be. I hear so many directors saying that my film didn't work because the actor interfered or this one interfered. So I tell them, you should walk out with them. You need a lot of guts to do that. But that don't crib about it after the film releases. Because once the film releases, it is your film, you're the director. The film belongs only to the director. Everything starts and finishes with the director.
But is that the same story now, or is it different? Because
no, you asked me a question earlier that why did I stop making films?
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Now I'll tell you that. In 2007, I made a small film just because I felt I liked the story. It was called Double Again. Very small, very tiny. But my film before that, Joe had not done well. So somewhere I felt that have I started losing my connection with the audience? See, when I was thinking to this, and that coupled with the time when the actors started taking over. People would make films on exactly what the actor wanted. The actor would decide on the story, the actor would decide on the director, the actor would decide on the heroine, the actor would decide everything. And I said, I'm not working in these conditions at all. In fact, I was those days I was giving a lecture on filmmaking at one of the schools, and the boys asked me, sir, how do I get a break as a director? So I said, you find a job with a hero as a domestic servant. You buy vegetables for his house and take his children. He says you're nice, he'll turn you into a director. That's what is happening. And it's just now that it's stopped, because now there will be some sensible people. But this is still there. Actors are, why shouldn't we act everywhere?
In fact, I think now it's more because they have their own way of saying things.
Yeah, and I'm surprised that directors who agree to it, I don't understand that. And the producers only, and then when I hear the kind of prices they're paying, I hear somebody saying 100 crores and somebody saying 125 crores, and my heart seems think of that.
Does that remind you of the 72 rupees?
My 72 rupees, no, when I made Dakat. Dakat is a very expensive film. It had cost me 98 lakhs rupees. So, I see there are almost 8 crore ka kharcha hua picture ke upar, which today is nothing. And it's not right. I think the whole system went down. It's getting better now. Though the OTT platforms are there, OTT website, but that whole system of the OTT platforms is again the market.
They have their own ways of saying it.
You have they got software is written, spend crores of rupees on using artificial intelligence to tell you whether the thing is correct or wrong. I sat one of them narrating script and put on a computer, and I said, what to do with the computer? He said, I'm just trying to see whether the scene is right or wrong. I said, the computer won't tell whether it's right or wrong. He said, Mr. Rawail, we spent so much money. I said, your problem is spend so much money. So I still walked out of there. So it's in that state now. Yeah.
It's just a different technology.
Because the book took off quite well, they wanted me to write another book. See, the book, there's nothing controversial about us. I never wrote about that. And, if I did, I would write about Kolkata. But I don't know.
Which you just mentioned not to chat about it, but yes.
And then I thought of doing a book on the sons and calling it Kapoor and Sons, on the 3 sons. But then I realized, again, it was these skeletons coming out of the cupboard. So I'm stuck. I don't know what am I going to write. Because this book which I wrote was completely from memory. And there's nobody else in my life who's influenced me like that. I don't know, maybe I see, my children are also stupid chaps are working in the same industry. Yeah, I told them don't do it. But now because they are required to write something, when I wrote this book, they were up in arms. Dad, how can you write about trademarks like this? I said, how are you concerned with trademark? No, trademarks grandson is a very good friend of mine. I said, this is, I'm trying to walk around. So,
yes, we're going to touch about your book again. Before that, just a little Bollywood information. So,
this is gossip.
No,
Okay.
I would call it information. So, how was it for you to direct Aishwarya Rai, which was her first Bollywood debut? Of course, her first movie was a South Indian one, but as a Bollywood actress, how was it that?
It was, I'm going to be nasty, which I always am. It was like expecting a doll to perform with the doll around, because the doll doesn't like it. So that's what I was all about. She was only worried about the fact that she's Miss World and she has to look nice. And I should keep telling her that this is films are not like this. No, I can't do this, I can't do that. And then I told her, I said, that's the way we're going, this film is doomed. It's not work. I told her this after 2 schedules. I said, better change the subject. I want to give it up also in between, but then I said, लोग बोलेंगे इसको आदत पड़ गई है, फिर शुरू करता है बंद कर देता है.
So was it the same? I mean, of course, it must have been different because there was no title involved. But when you work with Shah Rukh Khan, who is now the King Khan, of course, at that time it was after Dar, after Bazigar, and then it became Anjam.
See, these films are all made together. Still young. In fact, when Shah Rukh was doing Dar, he had signed on Anjam before that. Then Dar came up to him. Dar had wrote a story. And I told him, I said, Shah Rukh, I don't think you do Dar because we already committed. He said, no, Rahul, I know it's going to be before. But I promise you, my performance will be completely different from his own. And he did that. So, someone I trusted his word. And you see, he was absolutely wonderful to work with. Wonderful. And then working with him and Marjorie together was a greatest dream. It was so easy, so simple to work with them. Because they were very big on the outtake. You know, they were using their minds, which most actors don't have. So that's that I think was the basic difference.
Great. So, and you know, with all these blockbusters, the best part is your music. So, music in your movies has always been, I think, the high peak of it.
But that was all culture. That was all argument.
But then it's also about choosing the right one.
No, really. You want a sample of my music, I can sing to you over here. But you know, you people probably just go away from this place and never come to a Kolkata event again after that. No, it was all good. Pancham and Anand Bakshi together. They would sing the songs, they sounded great. And they went, and Pancham Pocha went away very early. But today people are doing what this man did so many years back. And he and Bakshi ji, Anand Bakshi, they worked very well together. And Pancham is to, you know, all music directors have this thing of using dummy words. Because when they sing a tune to the director, they put in dummy words so that you can understand the tune better. So a lot of these songs, like what dummy words with Pancham. Dummy words. So they sounded good, so we used that. And then 2 other songs which he did that way. And Anand Bakshi, of course, I think by the time you told him the situation of the song, he had written it. It was amazing, absolutely.
So that the most of your movies, I mean, everyone remembers one song at least, if not all, from each and every movie.
Where are those people today? They're not there today, that's a problem. Look, when I was an assistant, and even when I became a director, maybe when I was an assistant it was a lot. But then I've seen that, I've seen with my father, I've seen with me also. People like Lata Mangeshkar, Kishore, Mohammed Rafi, even when I did my films, would come to the music room and rehearse the songs, which nobody does today. Nobody, they just want to come sing and go because they've got 5 songs to sing. And they would ask another question. They would ask me, what is the character who is singing this song? And what is the situation the song is built on? And then you say, who is the actor? If you see most of Mohammed Rafi's songs, even Pancham Ratna, Kishore Das songs, they sounded so much like the actor.
Yes.
And all the songs which Ravi Saab sang for Johnny Walker, you know, sounded like them. So those people are not there. My father made Lala Mandu, he was unsure about what should be music director. So he thought of taking everybody. And he went to Barbanda's house. I was with him. And he told Barbanda what is making. And Barbanda said, Rawail, you are a sensible person, but you know, I'm surprised that you come to me. because I will not be able to do music. The only person who can do music is Madan Mohan. And he got up and he took Dad in his car and went to Madan Mohan's house to tell him that he was to do this film. No music director would do it today. Nobody would. Nobody. That was a different time. So those people are all gone. And I should see that the way they should work. They should work, they should fight. You know, they should be screaming at each other, telling, but it was all done only for work. It was all meant for work. There were no egos involved, you know. There was no that he's having an affair with him and she's having an affair with her. And this kind of nonsense. There was nothing of that kind. And I have to tell something very funny. Since we talked about songs, it's about that. When we were doing a song from Miran Chopra, I had just joined him. I was just 16-year-old at that time when I joined. So I went to his music room, and for me it was, you know, a shock to see Raj Kapoor, Shankarji, Jackie Hassan Jaipuri, Shaileendra, and Mukesh. You know, these people in a room smaller than this, alright, and me with a 16-year-old sitting in one corner, you know, only just can't not believe it, and they were performing a song.
See, I'm not reminding you age.
No, I'm doing it myself this time. When Shankarji started singing the tune and the dummy words, I did not know whether I should jump out of the window or I should pick up a knife and kill myself. But I knew one thing that I should commit suicide. Because the dummy words were nothing but the choicest abuses you can think. I mean, the choicest abuses, these people who are, you know, geniuses, the kind of garbage they were using was unbelievable. And then I thought they finished with that, they didn't. Because now when you talk about music, रात सबसे भी वो जो है वो माँ की जगह वो बैंक का गाके देखिए इंसान से वो बैंक का नहीं उठ रहा so this is how song was made but that's the way they were, you know, at that time they were not even thinking about that, they were just working for that song and so those days are missing, absolutely missing.
Wow, I'm sure you knew they're just dummy words and not the real song.
Yes, of course.
So even in our plot of Pyar Ho Gaya was with Nusrat Fateh. So I mean, each and every song, even we, like till now, whenever we listen to, we know the movie, we know the director, it's always just a refreshing memory. Yeah.
And there was that one song in it which Aishwarya sings. ढूंढ रही मैं ऐसा दीवाना Now the tempo of that song, nobody could sing it, I think, except in Nusrat. But the tempo was so fast that Lata Mai had come to it, and she said, I can't. It's not possible for me. Because Lata Mai was convinced that Nusrat, she said, he's from another planet. Because he's singing from the scale, he's singing from the bottom of the scale, and he was above the last scale, nobody can do that. And she said, I can't sing the song, then Asha Bai came. Asha Bai heard the song, and she said, every time she couldn't. Then finally we had to tell Nusrat, please, let's reduce the tempo a little bit, and he reduced. He said, no, I will not. Anyway, but we finally got that song. So he was an absolute genius.
Amazing, and I mean, you got the pleasure of meeting all of them. That's just amazing. So, seeing the master at work, let's get back to Raj Kapoor Sahab, has been an absolute divine blessing for you, and all this you've actually recorded in the biography, sir. Could you share more about the thoughtful memoirs of Raj Kapoor, the master at work, which you've written? So, shall we, I mean, you can tell us about the book and, of course, all your...
The book, it's not a biography. It's about his work, and if we sum it in one line, I would say it's a book about a young boy who discovered who Raj Kapoor was. That's what I'd say. Somebody who knew that Raj Kapoor's name but discovered who Raj Kapoor actually was. And he was his way of working, how he conceived stories, how he conceived shots, the color palette he worked with, the sounds, everything was only what a genius would know, because he need to have knowledge of all those things. And he would pick up his inspiration from anywhere. He had gone to Delhi to a wedding where who was the music director of Ram Teri Ganamani? Ravindra Jain. Ravindra Jain was a wedding singer.
Yeah.
And Ravindra Jain sang a song at the wedding, which was Ek Hi Raja, Ek Hi Ram. And Ratha got it. I was at the wedding. And he took out 1,000 rupees and gave it to Ravindra Jain. He said, "This song is mine. And my story is based on this song." So later on night we talked to him, and he said, "All right, I'll make a film of this song." So he said, "Dad, but there's no story in that. Just." He said, "No, there is in the two characters." And then while sitting there, he said, in Ramchachitra Maharaj, there is this chapter where Ram went to Allahabad and he was in a boat and he saw the Ganga over there, and he said to the boatman कि ये गंगा जो होती इतनी पवित्र है, ये गंगा इतनी मैली है, and the boatman said कि राम तेरी गंगा मैली हो गई पापों के पाप होते होते. So he remembered that. So then he linked these two things together and made this song. So his thinking process was that, and two songs which I heard in 1967 when I joined, 68, were Jhoot Bole Kawa Kate and the song from Henna, from Ram Teri Ganamani, Sun Sahara Pyar Ki Taraf. Now I heard them in 68 because his daughter used to play the piano and he used to compose the songs, and father and daughter used to sit and work on songs. And we heard both these songs in 68 and they were used in 72 and then in 82, 83. They were doing all that time, done the whole lot himself. And he had his quirks. He was like all geniuses are eccentric. He was one of them, and he would do strange things. Like he had this thing about he'd eat anything at all. One day the editing lesson meeting, he picked up a piece of pav. Pav we have this bread called pav, which is a big loaf. And he split it in half, put butter on it, and took a jalebi and put it in between. And he started eating that. So I said, "Sir, how can you eat a jalebi with pav and makhan?" He said, "Why am I not supposed to?" I said, "No, you can do anything, but there's certain things you can't eat." He said, "Look, I'm going to make it taste better." And he dipped it in tomato ketchup. He didn't just take that. I mean, he would also, if he'd go out somewhere and sitting with him and give the sandwiches, he had this thing for sandwiches. He'd find an excuse to send you away from the table. And he'd pick up the sandwiches and eat up the center and put the piece of bread carefully back again. So I know that was a king here. He would find a way to send you away and do that. And we had a very nice sense of humor, and sometimes his actions are all somewhere connected to his work. And that was the major thing. And he worked in the sense when we were editing one scene, we needed a shot. He said, "I want a shot of that." We didn't have that. So I said, "We don't have a shot." So he said, "Get me any close-up of this. Any location, any costume, day, night doesn't matter, just get me close-up." And we found a close-up, which he liked. And he inserted that in the scene with the costume. So he said, how do you manage this? He said, look, we all know about it. Let me run this scene for the people and let any one person tell me. And he ran the scene until today nobody's ever said it. Because he said, look, Uncle, if your narration is good, people are not going to look at anything else. The narration has to be good. And there is elephant's memory. We have shot the circus in the number. We shot 50,000 feet of negative. 50,000 feet is about over 10 hours. Only the crowd sitting in the stands and watching the circus, smiling, laughing. And 3 years after we shot, he told me, he said, look, this is a shot where the camera is like this and everybody is looking right at the camera. There's one man in a blue shirt who's looking left of camera. I said, sir, how do I find that? He said, it is there, I know it. And we had to go through all the footage, it took us 3 days. And we found that. So his memory was tremendous. Tremendous, absolutely. And when he died, Kamala Hassan always tells me, I wish I died like that. I mean, it's the greatest death filmmaker can have. He's got the Dasa Phalke Award. He's gone to Vigan Bhavan to accept it. He's not feeling well, and he's sitting in the audience, and then the president announces his name. He stands up and he flops back. In the thing, and then the president walks down to the audience and comes to us, and his wife helps him get up, and the government was discussing about it, and the president put the medal around his neck, and he joined his hands, and he went into it. That took 2 months he didn't come out and go. That was the last thing he did. So Kamala Hassan said, I wish I died this way because that's the way for a filmmaker. And the kind of honor he was given, apart from in India, even Pakistan declared a national holiday the day he died. Declared national holiday in Pakistan. He had a tremendous amount of goodwill. He was known as his films.
Still does.
Yes, absolutely.
He's actually taken India on international platform as well at that time.
Absolutely.
From that time.
The book has a lot. It's got a lot of incidents. There are funny incidents, and then there are the serious incidents about his work, about how he did his work, or what he thought about, how he, what kind of music he. On music he was so particular with music. I remember when I started working with him, I used to see him at times that the dialogue is going on between the actors, and he's got his fingers are moving. And so I asked him one day, I said, sir, why do your fingers keep moving? He said, no, because when the actor is speaking, I'm trying to think what would be the background music on this. What would be the beat of the background? So, that's what I'm thinking about. And of course, he'll get me into trouble also, because Prerna was working in that film. Prerna in those days was a little, mentally challenged in those days. And everyone was very scared of Prerna, because he'd say anything, he'd hit anybody. And first day we shot with him, and Rasa when he used to shoot, I used to always kneel down next to him, because it's something he says.
Yes, I understand. Yeah.
And so Prerna did a shot, and Prerna said, oh, this is fantastic, himself. Didn't wait for it, himself. Fantastic, couldn't be better. And Rasa said, yeah, very good. And suddenly Rasa turned to me and said, what did you say? I did not say anything. So he said, tell me. No, I didn't know what to answer. So he bent him down and he whispered in my ear, don't say anything, just move your lips. So I just did that, and he said, Prema, let's do one more thing. I said, why? He said, Rahul didn't like it. So I said, I never said that. I didn't want to say. So this is only what did Prema pop out of me? And said, tell me one thing, you are just an assistant director. And you say shots, every shot which I think is the best I've ever done, even Raj Kapoor's is the best, you don't like it. What is the particular thing that you don't like in it? But that's the way he wanted to get his work done. In any way he wanted it.
That's amazing.
That's
Amazing, and that does sound like a 360-degree. Is that
Absolutely.
everything, whether it's his music
He
or
had people play any instrument just by looking at it. Exactly. Absolutely, just looking.
So listening, I mean, it was very, very interesting listening all about Raj stuff from you as you've had full experience with him, and now that we hear his stories, we can now understand how your ways of directing is.
I wish I could do 50% of what he did, really.
No, I'm sure.
Really, no.
With whatever little we've heard, quite a few is coming from them.
Really, I don't see anybody, there are some very good directors, but I would not find anybody in the same class.
Nothing beats his legs. Wow, but that's just been amazing. Thank you. And it was a pleasure that we could hear all these fun stories, and I'm sure we all are gonna, well, he did say he has a lot of interesting, I'm not gonna term it as gossip, but yes, information about Raj Kapoor Sahab, the other side of his, which you did say you're gonna write maybe.
Why do you keep calling gossip information?
You did
Just
say
call it gossip,
you
and say gossip, you can say information.
Okay, let's follow the question.
When we do it outside the room, it's gossip. When we're sitting here, it's information.
So we are going to wait for that book where you said that all about the girls.
That's also what it does. And I've had a wonderful time with you people.
There was likewise, I think we all really enjoyed listening to all the
And
stories.
one of the things, this is the first time in one of your groups, events, we've not had a lady come out from behind with a board thing, 15 minutes, and then come take 10 minutes, and then come and something, take 5 minutes. You have?
I think
I don't see it.
I targeted it to myself.
I can see it, I'm waiting for that.
Usually I'm the one, but today she did the wrong.
I can see it.
It's what he did.
Because I've seen it everywhere.
I think I targeted, I said don't show them, tell me about it.
Any questions?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
And while you were talking, I could see the picture when I went down to my childhood. I was a teenage girl in school when Love Story came. And I made a scrap.
Again, my age.
It's not about your age.
I'm
And
okay.
it's so exciting. I have many questions to ask you. Primarily, I'll start with two, and if there's time, I'll ask you more. First is, we've been talking about Raj Kapoor. I want to talk about you from Raj Kapoor's eyes. So tell me two compliments which he gave you and it stayed with you. So one maybe when you came raw to him, and one maybe after you worked. So I'd like to see you through Raj Kapoor's eyes. So please.
Well, for me, the two compliments that
Something
he
that
gave me,
stayed with you and you enjoyed it.
that he gave me was one when he said it at a function on stage where I wasn't there,
In your absence.
in my absence completely. And that's what he said. He spoke about filmmaking and he said, I am the greatest assistant director
Oh, lovely.
any director can have. Right?
Oh,
His name is
really?
Rahul India.
And you mentioned this in the book,
Yes.
sir. That's
I'm mentioning the book. Right?
But then this is something the world needs to know because
This is one thing, and I mean, this made my day. Absolutely.
And especially when you were not there and when it filtered
Yeah.
to you through people,
And,
it gives you a...
And the day he told me, I want you to direct a film for RT, which, which really told me that this is the right thing.
Fantastic. That's really, because a director is someone who can either make you or break you. So he had that trust in you, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he did. He's written 10 many times, there's these 2 shots to take. So you go and take them. And when he used to say go and take them, I used to run out of the room before he changed his mind. Because it's a great feeling that, and so it was fun, it was great fun work with him. He really looked after
And you were the closest to him for the longest time ever.
No, he had one assistant who started working with him in Barsat. He was still there. Barsat was made in 1947. And that gentleman had a very funny story because 2 guys from the south came to Bombay to join the film industry. And they both met Rajpur. And he spoke to both of them. And he said, I can't give both of you a job. I can give one of you a job. So he chose Kalaji. And the other boy started crying because he didn't get a job. She said, listen, don't worry, I'll get you a job in the theatre because you're a dancer. So I tell my father. So he got him a job in the theatre. Now, it so happened that the boy who was a dancer was L.B. Prakash, one of the greatest filmmakers we ever had. And the one whom Raja thought was more intelligent, he stayed as an assistant for 47. Did he right? So,
You cashed on what he told you that I'm not here to teach, but ask. So you were very, very sharp as that and you kept
Absolutely.
picking up
Absolutely.
all the cherries he gave in your basket.
I used to ask him.
Thank you so much. And my second question is, after knowing your love for physics, one similarity between physics and direction.
I don't remember anything about physics. I'm so sorry.
I'm not talking about physics in the literal manner, but what you have under your skin, connection.
I've never thought of this.
This was hard work.
Hard work, I think, goes in anything. Without hard work, you really can't.
No, but I don't know anything about physics either, so we are safe there. There's nothing to challenge us. But something, which maybe planning or some
No, see,
falling into
when I was in
place.
college in Xavier's, and even when I was in school, my mathematics paper was passed all over the world because I was the only student in 11 years who had got 100 on 100.
Fantastic.
No, please. Today you ask me,
That's okay to
to
say.
add 130 with 140, I'll take 2 minutes to think about it. How much does it? So, that's all about it.
Thank you so much. I was, but I think it's not fair.
Yeah.
I just want to know, you shared a story on why you quit films and the actors were powered. So if I would like to ask you that, can you relate to any 2 films in the last decade and you thought back and said, this is one story I would have loved to direct, or any 2 films you could name, so it will give us.
Yes, one of them was Lagan.
Yeah.
Was Lagan. That I felt there's an envy for Ahmed who have made this film. And, there are a couple of films like this, and there's also Sanjay Bansali's the one with Ranveer and Baji. Not Baji, the one before that.
But not, it's not.
Ramli. Not Savaniya.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I have a question. My name is Rupa. I was just wondering, if you made love story and made up today, would you have continued? your concept of love has changed with changing times. Would you have made the film similarly, or would your concept of love, acquire different layers?
I'm a firm believer that's high time somebody made a film and made a love story, exactly what love stories were, with that, with the passion and with that love being pure and innocence, that which is missing today. So I'm sure that, look, Beta was made from film, from a book, not a book, a play of William Shakespeare called Taming of the Shrew. Now, Taming of the Shrew has been made 27 times in the world and been a big success every time. 14 times they made Hindi, the film. And so, if somebody repeats that same formula again, I don't say we didn't not to work.
Something like Japanese vibe, you mean?
But
Something like Japanese vibe?
no, not Japanese. The essence of this Taming of the Shrew.
Okay,
like,
pure love. It's
like-
Bengali also.
Bengali also, and then they made an arm. In all the portion between the track between Dilip Kumar and Nadara was Taming of the Shrew. Jagni, Shami Kapoor was again, they twist it around. Sometimes the woman, sometimes the man. So,
I have a small question. Just a quick question. Oh, you have one? Okay. Today, from a director's point of view, a lot of movies are made, feature films, which do not go with the theatrical release and are going into OTT. What's your take on it? Is this commerce driven? Because I still feel you cannot replace the magic of cinema in a theatre.
you can't. I agree with the company. Secondly, I also believe one more thing is that cinema, OTT, or a projection on your mobile phone, there are three different aspects to them. You've got to decide what is the delivery of a film going to be, in what format. If it's going to the cinema, it's got to be treated positive. If it's OTT, there's no harm, but then you treat it for OTT.
So that's what my question is.
They don't-
made as a feature film
No,
for a theatre.
that's wrong. That's wrong. They don't go for that. And what's happened is that people who are not getting releases are just releasing the films on. That's wrong, absolutely. I think it will change.
Quick question and then that's it.
This is more of an observation. So now an entire generation has not been to Kashmir. And now my daughter, when she went to Betab Valley, yeah, so it was a great feeling. We went 2 years back, just lockdown had opened, and we sang the song standing over there. She doesn't understand Betab, she doesn't even know about Sholay, but she also sang the Betab song and she took a lead. So I just wanted to tell that a whole valley has been named after your film, and even the younger generation who don't understand any film from that era, they are also singing and making reels.
That's very sweet. I'm really touched with that. And I wish they had, left that whole structure which we had put up in that valley. And, but now they've got chaps selling dosas and all.
Okay, thank you so much for a very interesting and a very enlightening session. I think this rendezvous between both of you took us back to Rahulji's days in the arcade studio, his association with, of course, the iconic director, producer, director Raj Kapoor Saab, and his amazing cinematic journey as a director of Bollywood movies. On behalf of Pravakatan Foundation, Aisha Datta, Ehsas Woman of Kolkata, take the privilege to thank Rahulji and Shefali for the session. I also extend gratitude to our patron, Shri Cements Limited, the team of Salt House for their hospitality, digital media partner My Kolkata, and of course you, our amazing audience. Could I invite Rupa Halim, please, to come forward and felicitate Rahul Rawailji and with the Unnadai shawl from South India.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sonali.